Alright guys, the first official weekend for Assassin's Creed Shadows is in the books, and there is a ton of heavy lifting being done by media outlets, and of course the shills all over social media, people who got early access keys, review keys of this game, 10 out of 10, best thing I've ever played, best Assassin's Creed in 10 years, it's gonna save the franchise. That's what everybody's saying, and look, I've said it before and I'm gonna reiterate it right now. It is perfectly fine if you enjoy this game. It's perfectly fine if you play this game, if you choose not to play this game, if you choose not to give Ubisoft your money because they're a bunch of terrible people. Whatever you choose to do, that's on you. I'm not spending money on this game for a variety of reasons. One of them being I think the game probably sucks based on my own personal experience with the franchise, with the series, and looking at video footage for myself, knowing enough about the dialogue, the characters, I'm not interested. I haven't played since Unity. This is not the game that's going to get me coming back to Assassin's Creed, the franchise anytime soon. However, the media is doing a very amazing job trying to spin a narrative around this game as if it is going to somehow drag Ubisoft, by the skin of its teeth out of the jaws of, despair where they found themselves the last few months, because their stocks have plummeted over the last 5 years. I'm talking they're down like 70% over the last 5 years, and it's unfortunately gotten worse and worse over time with games like Star Wars Outlaws and Skull and Bones and X-Defiant getting shut down. And now they have this game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, that's got 2 million players, right? So everybody's calling this a success, even though if you base it on just a user score alone, the game is not that great. Most people who are like, look, I don't like Ubisoft, but I like the franchise. I don't care about woke stuff. I just want good games. They're saying, you know what? The game's okay. It's mid. It's a decent Assassin's Creed entry. It's just not anything to write home about. And that's at least, hey, if you can be fair about these things and be objective, like I said, I might have an opinion against Ubisoft. I might not like wokeness in games. I might not like artificially injected ideology or politics in my games. But I could look at it and say there's probably things about the game that are redeeming, sure. Just not enough for me to want to play the game. It's that simple. That being said, if you guys do want to pick up some games, just a quick reminder, use the instant gaming link down below in the description for the video. I actually just picked up the first Berserker Kazan. I'm going to stream it tomorrow night. So instead of doing a normal roundtable kind of discussion on Monday night, tomorrow night we're going to be playing some first Berserker. So make sure you check us out there, 9:30 Pacific. So, ironically, one of the craziest things that has blown up over the weekend, Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers Podcast tweeted out this video footage from Gamers Prey of 2 hours and 5 minutes of credits for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, here's the funny thing. This pissed everybody off. It blew people's minds. They were like, oh my god, just skip the credits if you don't like the credits. Are credits woke now? What's wrong with you? You guys are losers. Go touch grass. You've never touched a woman. The usual things you'd expect them to say, right? They missed the point completely. The 2 hours and 5 minutes of credits are for 3,000 people who across the globe worked on this game. No video game, small or large, should have 2 hours of credits. No movie has 2 hours of credits. No, I mean, even like the Avatar movies didn't have 2 hours of credits and probably had less than 3,000 people that worked on it, although I could be wrong about that. This just shows the bloat in the AAA video game industry, and by companies like Ubisoft especially, who have got too many irons in the fire. They even have credits for, of course, their diversity and inclusion people in the credits for this game. So it's just complete wasted bloat. Then, of course, we have the video footage from a lot of the gameplay. The last, few days of them coming out and people making excuses for it, saying, oh, in this situation here, this is only on easy mode. You can clearly see the person dodging, so they're just faking it there, right? Okay. Then, of course, down here saying it doesn't do this on hard mode, so if you're playing on hard mode, they still can hit you on the ground. Well, that looks like a normal video game. Fine, okay. Kind of stupid that they won't hit you on the ground on easy mode, but they'll do it on hard mode. That's kind of retarded if you ask me. But then from Delibrium here, it says, here you go, set on expert. So this is expert mode apparently, guys. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and mute it because it's kind of loud. The AI in this game is absolutely mind-numbingly retarded. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible. This is that situation like on The Office where it's like you don't call your friends retarded people retarded, you call your friends retarded when they do something stupid. In this situation, the AI is being completely idiotic. It doesn't make any sense. It's like confused and perplexed by the fact that your character is just laying here on the ground and it doesn't know what to do. It's completely lost. And again, it's just more of the same in this video. It just goes on and on and on. The AI in this game is some of the worst I have ever seen. But here's where you get the heavy lifting by the media. Sites like this, WCCF Tech. Assassin's Creed Shadows has reached 2 million players, besting Origins and Odyssey. We've talked about this because, again, it's not just the Steam numbers alone. They're counting console players. They're counting Ubisoft Plus players who are subscribed to Ubisoft Plus who aren't actually buying the game. They're counting those as 2 million players. They have yet to say 1 million sales, but they keep saying 2 million players. They're going to beat that like a drum, right? In this article, it says, earlier today, Ubisoft proudly revealed that Assassin's Creed Shadows has already reached 2 million players, surpassing the launch of Origins and Odyssey. Okay. On release day, the game had broken the milestone of 1 million copies sold. This is a lie. The game didn't sell 1 million copies. They announced on the launch day that within 24 hours, 1 million people had played it. They very specifically did not say copies sold. But then you get even better here. PC Gamer reiterates this lie, and then they actually double down on it. Assassin's Creed Shadows hits 2 million players, puts it on track to be the series' most successful game yet. Fine, if you're basing it just on the metrics of how many hands, how many controllers, how many people have actually played the game, downloaded it to their computer, to their PlayStation or Xbox library, whatever, then if that's the metric they want to use, then fine. I don't know how you can call that a success if people actually aren't buying the game, but fair enough, fine, that's the metric they're using. However, they do the exact same thing down here in this article, okay? Mentions the 1 million players in the first 24 hours. At least they don't say sales. But then you get down here, and this is something very fishy. In fact, Shadows is on track to be one of the biggest game releases of the year. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was hailed as a hit earlier this year and took 2 weeks to hit 2 million players, a milestone Shadows reached in just a few days. Do you see what they did here? Let me explain it to you if you don't quite understand what's going on. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not on any subscription service. It is a studio, Warhorse Studio, that's more of an indie studio, although they are owned by Embracer now, so they do have more money to work with, but they are a smaller studio based in the Czech Republic that does not have 3,000 people working on their game, and they delivered a game that was purchased by over 2 million people in 2 weeks. Purchased, sales, not 2 million players, 2 million sales. And yet PC Gamer is trying to spin the 2 million players narrative as if this is something where they're going to beat Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is by all accounts a far superior RPG. And since they want to, compare numbers, Assassin's Creed Shadows on Steam, and I know, guys, people are like, oh, the Steam numbers again. I'm aware that most people are probably playing Assassin's Creed Shadows on console. The thing is, they're probably mostly playing it through Ubisoft Plus, which is why they're not paying full price for the game, which means that Ubisoft is not making the money back that they need to on this game. But based on Steam numbers alone, the peak on Steam over the weekend for Assassin's Creed Shadows in its opening weekend, they didn't quite hit 65,000 players. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had a 67,700 player peak this weekend alone, a month after the game came out. There's no way you can spin this as a win for Ubisoft unless they start reporting actual sales numbers, because they have spent an immense amount of money, $250 to $350 million on Assassin's Creed Shadows. On the high end, they need to sell 7 to 10 million copies of this game to actually make money. And right now, they haven't reported a single million worth of sales, just 2 million players. And again, people want to argue about that on Twitter. It's like, here's the reality. You can love Ubisoft, you can hate Ubisoft, you can think the game is woke, you can think the game's amazing, you can enjoy it for all you want, I don't care, more power to you, or you can say it's the biggest piece of dog shit on the planet. But if we can't be honest and objective about these things and say, the fact of the matter is, these are not reported sales, the game needs to sell a certain number of copies to actually make money, this is just sad that we can't even have an honest, objective conversation about this and say, guys, words have meanings. If you don't understand the meanings of words, that's not my problem. It's not my fault. You're just going to have to figure out how to wrap your head around the fact that this game, if it does fail, is because they put it on Ubisoft Plus. And a lot of people said, you know what, I'll spend $15-16 on it for the month rather than fork over $70 and up. I mean, remember, the collector's edition of this game was, I believe, $130. Asinine for a game that you don't even get a physical release of. I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. Let me know what you think about this. And again, tomorrow night, Monday, we're not doing a regular stream. I'm going to be streaming through First Berserker. I'm really looking forward to this game. It should be a lot of fun. Hope to see some of you guys there, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.